Anthony was losing the weight so quickly, and then they were like, oh, maybe we should film this, maybe we should make something out of this. So Mike was like, oh, I know someone, and basically called me up and was like, all right, if I fly you out to New York and pay for your accommodation, your flight and stuff, will you make me 2 vlogs for free? And I said, hell yeah. Like, you don't need to plan anything with a vlog. With a documentary, you should be planning a documentary like a couple years in advance, really. Normally, with a documentary at this high level, you would have a production team.
From filming his vlogs to Bodyport in 2016 and meeting the athletes, to becoming one of the most well-known videographers in the UK, opening his own business, and directing, filming, editing a documentary for Amazon Prime. All of this within about a year. Keith has an incredible story. He is now a dad, and ever since his kid was born, his life changed completely. And as he mentions in the podcast, he now sees and approaches things differently. I will let him tell you guys more about his own story and how it came to fruition. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, Keith Eccles.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Grateful Show. In today's episode, we have a special guest. It's Keith. How is he doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Just had a very productive morning. UK, it's like 10 o'clock right now in the morning, but here in Romania, it's kind of like 12, half 12. I woke up around 6 hours ago, so halfway through into the day. What about you, Pascal?
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite similar. As you mentioned, I've been to the gym and actually try to do all the things right before our podcast just to make sure that I'm not stressed. Because I'm pretty excited to have Kip on the podcast, and I'm gonna actually address you the first question. What are you grateful for today?
What am I grateful for today? My family, I guess. I've just had a child. His name is Cody. He's, he's 6 months old now. So very grateful to have him. He's very healthy, and my missus and my business, basically everything is coming together very well right now. So extremely grateful.
Awesome. How much your life has changed since you have the baby?
Great question.
Quite a lot, isn't it?
Yes. So, I mean, physically, I don't have much time in the day to do anything else other than my business, and then help do my dad duties, basically. And then also mentally, like, I now have a different outlook on life completely. I feel a little bit more grown up since having him. So yeah, big change, huge change.
What's the difference in your mentality? Because you were just mentioning what has changed that much.
I feel like beforehand I was sort of just more winging life and just doing things because it was fun and I could do what I want. But now I have someone else to think about, and especially within business as well. It's I'm now a bit more business orientated. So before I would maybe be a bit too nice and be like, oh, I'll do that for free, or don't worry about that and stuff. But now it's like, I can't. I have to be there's a difference between Keith and Key Focus Entertainment. And I need to be more Key Focus Entertainment when it comes to business. So then I can provide more for him, so he has a better future.
Yeah, we all go through different stages in life, I guess, but it's really important to be disciplined. But also, I believe that you're gonna have time to have some fun as well.
Oh, of course, I'm always having fun. I mean, running my business is my hobby. It's what I want to do in life. So yeah, and plus, I'm a little bit of a big kid, so now there's excuses for me to act a kid and get away with it, because I can just say I'm doing it in front of him.
That's a good hack to know, actually. Keith, for our audience that don't really know much about you, would you mind giving us like an introduction into your story so far and how you got to where you are now?
Okay. So my name is Keith. I'm a videographer and photographer from England. I own my company, Key Focus Entertainment. How did I start it? Videography has always been a hobby. Did I know this is what I wanted to do from the start? No. I never even owned a camera, my own camera, until 4 years ago. I used to, growing up, my friends had their own cameras and their own computers and stuff. And they would make little movies and I would be interested. So I would want to film some and edit some. So I learned to edit little mini movies on Windows Movie Maker back in the day around my friend's house. And then roll on the years, I ended up doing media at college. And did I learn anything? Not really. Education for me wasn't the best. I was kicked out of school. Then I had to go to a boarding school, which was all boys. So naturally, there was a lot of testosterone. So there was a lot of fights and stuff. Ended up leaving there, doing my GCSEs myself. Went to college, did media, didn't really learn anything. It was more TV stuff. It was my introduction into Final Cut, though, like learning Final Cut a little bit there. And just didn't really bother at college. I just wanted to drink and party. And I was basically the class clown. So I wanted to make everybody laugh. That's what I wanted to do. I had a few things within the college, like I got funding for the media department and was on like the front page of the paper and stuff, which is quite funny because I was never in college. But when I was in college, I was like, my teacher would say I was like a top student because my passion for videography or for film and stuff was there. I just didn't hone in on it, basically. I ended up making a film. I got sponsored and made a film that went in Bristol Watershed, which is like a little mini movie place. It didn't win anything, but it was a good feat. And then nothing happened for like 10 years. I just wanted to work and ended up working in retail. And nearly 2 years ago now, but for the 5 years I worked in for Mulberry stitching handbags. And that was my first proper full-time factory job. So I could get enough money so me and the missus could move out and buy our own house. And then I got into fitness. So I was really, really skinny. I was about 9 stone. Couldn't hardly bench the bar, which is only 20 kg. And I started watching all the YouTubers. So like Christian Guzman, Ryan Terry, all these people. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to be a vlogger. I want to vlog my journey. Yeah. Like from being skinny to like big and shredded. And how old was I at the time? I don't know. This is quite funny. I must have been about 25, 26 when I decided I wanted to do this. And I bought a little camera. Can I swear?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Because I sometimes swear quite a bit when I get real passionate. So I had a camera and little Canon PowerShot SX710, and I started vlogging. And I went to Body Power for the first time. Now, Body Power, if people don't know, is one of like Europe's biggest bodybuilding events over 3 days, and all the celebrities and stuff come and you can queue up and meet them and the companies.
Which year was this?
2016, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason I know that is because somebody asked me the other day. So 2016, so 4 years ago, and I went there for the first time with my little camera and I vlogged it, which is still up on YouTube now, which is quite funny. And it was the best experience of my life. I was like,
you know what's very funny? It's very funny because I've been through the same thing. Like my first ever body part was in 2016. I've done
Right.
the same thing. I went there, and my first ever vlog was filmed onto that event, and it's still up on YouTube as well. So it's quite
So we
mind blowing.
didn't know each other back then, but we
Yeah,
were both
yeah,
there doing the same thing, starting
Mhm.
at the same time. That's amazing. I love that.
Literally, yeah.
So, the first person I queued up for was the Alpha Elite crew. So Christian Guzman, Rob Lipsit, like all those people. And we must have queued for about 4 hours
Even
just to
more, I
meet
think.
Christian for like a minute. But it was amazing. It was so worth it. I was like, oh my God, like I vlogged it, and he became my like intro to my vlog, my body power vlogs and stuff. And you can see how happy and excited I was in the vlog, and it literally blew my mind. And I was like, one day I'm going to work for Body Power, and I'm going to, like, these athletes are going to know who I am. Like, for some reason I had that in my head, which I'm sure a hell of a lot of people at the same time had the same thing. So that was 4 years ago. Then 2 years after that, a year after that, I think, I'm trying to get my timeline correct, around then anyway. So when I was doing vlogs, anything to do with fitness, I was sending it to the CEO of Body Power, Nick Orton. Whether he was watching them or not, I was like, I want to work for Body Power. So when I do a video, I'm going to send it to him.
Wow.
And then my grandma passed away, and she left a little bit of money, about £4,000 or something. And she was really into photography. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to spend this money and I'm going to buy my first DSLR camera, because I was really into the vlogging. I wanted to upgrade, get better quality and stuff. So I bought a Canon 80D. And it was about just over £1,000 at the time. And I was so nervous because I'd never spent that amount of much money before, especially on a little camera. And I ended up vlogging on that, and then doing and then still watching the YouTubers. And then they were getting in videographers and doing like these cool gym edits.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do that. How cool is that? Like, I want to do that. So I ended up making like little gym edits, and then more and more people in the gym were like, can you make me an edit? Can you make me an edit? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And then I was sending them to Nick Orton, like, look.
When
And
were
then
you sending those videos to him? Was it like
email. So I just sending him an email with the link. And at the time, I think I had him as a friend, or I still have him as a friend on Facebook. And I think I was just sending it to him in a DM as well. Mm-hmm. And I would see that it said seen on it, but he never, ever replied, ever. But I remember meeting him like the second year at Body Power, and he sort of knew who I was. Like, I went up and introduced myself and said, hi, my name's Keith. I'm the one that's been sending you the videos and blah, blah. So I made it known that I was about.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the second or third year, I had a phone call from the managing director of Body Power, and was like, oh, can we have a call? I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. And they would say, we want to offer you a trial run, basically, to work for us as the lead video content creator. We're filming Tom Coleman, who's big in the industry. He's going to be on the front cover of Muscle and Fitness. And I was like, wow, okay. So I had to drive like 4 hours up north to go and film this. And I filmed it. Pardon?
Were you nervous before doing it? Were you
extremely nervous? Yeah. I mean, someone like Tom Coleman's got like millions of followers on Instagram, and he's on the front cover of Muscle and Fitness UK. And I was crapping my pants. But I like working under pressure. I feel like I do a lot of my best work under pressure. So I did it. They loved it. And then they were like, okay, we've got some more videos that we want you to do, and more. And then they offered me the job, basically. So it got me out of the factory stitching handbags. And then I ended up being Body Power's lead video content creator.
That's such
which
a job.
was like at the time a huge dream come true. Like that was one of the times I just stood there and I was like, I've made it. When technically I hadn't made it, it was just the very, very, very start.
Just to pause you a bit, Keith.
Yeah.
When you said that you moved and you became their lead video creator, were you working on like a full-time basis with them, or was it like okay?
So we came to an agreement on price. I think it was they were paying me just under £1,500 a month, which was like £400 more than what I was working in the factory, and it was a dream job. So of course I'm going to take it. Long story short, I did a whole bunch of videos for them and worked with some companies. And my goal was, whether it's a little bit selfish, but my goal was to work for them for a couple of years. And then I wanted to start my own business.
So you had it in your mind that you want to start your own business.
Yes. Yeah. Because I made Kieferkus Entertainment just before that. Because I was making small videos for some people now and again. And it didn't work out. So I'm not 100% sure I'm allowed to go into too much detail, but basically shit went down within Body Power itself. And a bunch of people related to a certain someone, we all got fired, basically. The way it went down was completely horrendous. It's all water under the bridge now. But at the time I was livid, like absolutely livid, because I'd done nothing wrong. It was nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And they just rang me up one day and was like, we're letting you go. And this was 2.5 months in. So technically they were allowed to do that because I was still 2.5 months into my 3-month probation.
Yeah.
And then they had the nerve to then ring me up the next day and ask if I can go and film something for them, which I said no. I did say no.
I'm glad you said that.
But that's, like I said, it's water under the bridge now. And at the time, Nick Orton wouldn't speak to me or ignored me or whatever. I guess he was pissed off at the other person and stuff. But we ended up sorting things out. It was all good. So I was freaking out. I've always had a job since I was like 16, and this was coming up to my 30th birthday, and I was unemployed, and I was like, shit, like, what do I do? And my missus was just like, look, I know you can make it. I know you can do something because your passion's there for videography. Let's start up the business properly. Let's go through HMRC and make it a legit business, and let's go for it. And if it doesn't work within 6 months, we can dip into the wedding fund money. And I was like, okay, let's give it a go. So I started the business, and within a couple of days of announcing the business, I ended up working for Speedo UK, filming Jazz, two-time silver medalist Jazz Carling, and the lead designer, Oliver Royce of Speedo, who is now one of the lead designers at Gymshark because they bought him from Speedo. And ended up working for Rickett Benkaiser, who are a £1 billion company, filming some of their videos and just doing some random things. And then literally, I can honestly say, since starting my business, I've not once had to go to a client and ask for work. Every single person in the 1.5 years has come to me mainly through word of mouth. Yes, social media does work, but word of mouth is still the best. And it's just gone from there. Like, I've built up my client base.
Why would you say that is the case? Because like a lot of people nowadays are struggling to generate leads, to find clients. Why would you say is the case with you that people come to you?
I think my customer service more than anything. I've always been a believer, so I'm not into followers and stuff like that. I feel like I know a lot of people that have like 50 to 100,000 followers on Instagram and don't get any work and struggle to get work. I've got like 3,000, and which we'll probably talk about later, but I've just made a documentary on Amazon Prime. Do you know what I mean? So followers don't mean anything. It's more of, yes, there's a certain level of talent that I have, but people, when they meet me, can see my passion for things and can see that I will make them the best video. And I feel my customer service being a nice person helps that a lot. Again, I know people in the industry that are absolute bellends and they don't get work. Like, and they're much better at videography and photography than me, like way better than me, but they don't get work because their attitude stinks. So yeah, you've got to have a level of customer service there. But like I said, social media is huge, but word of mouth will always trump anything. Somebody's recommendation for something will beat somebody randomly scrolling through my Instagram and Facebook. So I now have, and linking my business into the body power stuff. And when I went there for the first time and meeting the athletes, like Ryan Terry, for example, this is the best one for me. Queued up for Ryan Terry for about 3 hours, met him for about 2 minutes. Roll on the years later, I ended up being Ryan Terry's videographer and I filmed his wedding. And that all came about through me just asking him. I queued up for the hours, met him, and I was like, hey, I hear you're going to be close to my town. Can I film the seminar? He went, yes, here's my number. Because at the time, athletes and stuff, they never really had videographers. They just would have people that wanted to film for them. So they weren't going to say no to a free video. Do you know what I mean? And so that's just how it came about. Things then afterwards, I had a bit of a thought and things didn't work out with me and Ryan. It was too much traveling. I was too underpaid. And I didn't want to be solely a videographer for one person. I wanted to expand. I have no niche. I film absolutely everything and anything so I can get the experience. And
would you say that this will be the case within like a couple of years? Or are you planning to niche down, or?
I don't plan on niching down anytime soon. If anything, I've come away from the fitness industry now. I say that, and the documentary is a fitness documentary, but I'm not rushing to film for these fitness celebrities and stuff anymore. Whereas before I was.
Why is that?
I feel like they don't really give a shit about videographers, if I'm honest with you. Some of the people that I've met through the years have been great. I'm still friends with a lot of them. So to name some people in the industry, so Christian Guzman, for example, like I've been out drinking with him and Heidi Summers, which is his missus. I've met Rob Lipsett many times. I've filmed for Rob. Matt does fitness. I'm good mates with Gabriel Say. I'm good mates with Ryan. Like all these other like fitness people. It's just, I feel the industry is so saturated. There's so many videographers out there that just, I'll film for you for free. And then you have to remember that. And I don't know. I just feel like the money's not there either. And I just feel like they don't really give a shit about the videographers.
No, I agree.
I worked for one person. I'm not going to name who it is because I don't know whether anybody would ever listen to this or tell them. But I worked for one person, didn't work out. Literally the next day, they got another videographer. Just like, I was like, oh, so you actually didn't really give a shit about me then, really? Mm-hmm. And so ever since that moment, I was just like, yeah, I'm not really keen into the fitness industry. I still will do it because originally that was my niche. So I know what I'm doing. You know, I filmed at World's Strongest Man as well at Wembley. I've done things like that. The World's Strongest Men actually are much nicer.
Why would you say that in the fitness industry, the people from there don't really, like you said, give a shit about the videographers, and in the other industries they do?
Yeah, so I feel like maybe because within the fitness industry, a lot of the time, you're filming for a person rather than a company.
Oh, I see.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the person is a bit selfish. They just want the content. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter who films it. but plus with the person being like a celebrity,
Yeah.
they have a lineup of people that want to film for them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas companies are a bit more like they search around for someone that they actually want and they like their work, and then they want to work with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I earn a lot more money doing things for businesses and stuff. Plus, I get a kick out of. So I would rather film for a small business than a bigger business. And that's because I get more of a kick out of seeing a small business over the years grow because of my content that I've created them. So I just like doing the small businesses.
And I feel like with bigger businesses, it's always like there's more to do with like paperwork, and they have to like be within regulations, and you have to have like a certain team around you, and all of that crap that is really not necessary.
Yes, I agree completely. But yeah, it's good. I've done a whole wide range of things now, like mad. Like I've even so like I said, college wasn't a big thing for me, but I've now gone back to college to film some of their promo videos, which is quite ironic, really. I did last year. I did all of their sports department's videos, and now they want me back to do other things. And the media department want me to do a talk in front of the students at some point. No, I at some point. I think maybe when they after COVID finishes. I think colleges go back maybe September if things go well. So it'll be hopefully around then. But we'll see. We'll see how.
Tell us more about the documentary that you've done.
Okay. So so I've just done a documentary that's on Amazon Prime. It's called From Fat Lolly to Six Pack Lolly. It's about a entrepreneur. He's a millionaire called Anthony Lolly, who lives in New York, in Brooklyn, and he was 315 pounds. He lost 125 pounds in 9 months, and he then had skin surgery. Other things happened in his life. I don't want to give it away too much because I would like people to go watch it. And then he decided to step on stage. So with a lot of people, when they lose weight, they just lose the weight and that's it. So he then took it to the next level within such a short amount of time where he got shredded. Mm-hmm. And then we went to Atlantic City and he stood on stage for WBFF.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm not going to say too much more, but it's an incredible story. Yes, there's probably been people out there that have lost more weight in a quicker time, but not to the extent that he's done it. And when you see the transformation, you'll be like, wow, like, holy shit. And then plus, obviously, a lot of the stuff that he's done in his life and all the other bits in between that happen, and some of the struggles that he's had to go through. But the job came about. This actually links in to what I was talking about at the start. I got the job because Anthony was searching for a transformation coach on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And he came across a guy called Mike Fatboy Slim, right? He was a fat boy that got slim, and he's competed and stuff as well. And he randomly found him on Instagram and he said, yes, I want you to be my nutritionist. So he DM'd him through Instagram. He said, I want you to live with me in New York for 6 months and tell me exactly what to eat, exactly what to drink and do. And I want to lose this weight. So Mike is from Ireland. The reason I know Mike is because when I was doing the vlogs on YouTube, he found me on YouTube. Wow. Because he was coming over to England and he wanted somebody to record a vlog for him because he had people competing in Miami Pro and Pure Elite. Mm-hmm. And at the time it was like, how much is it going to be? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I've never really done like things like this. And it was like, oh, I don't know, maybe about £200, and which is hilarious. And he was like, "Oh, that is a bit too much." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, but I've got to travel to London and stuff, and all of this." It's funny because I don't do anything now for £200, but and he's now like a huge celebrity trainer now. Like he just bought a brand new Rolex, which was like 30 grand and stuff like this. It's crazy. Like, so yeah, Anthony was losing the weight so quickly, and then they were like, "Oh, maybe we should film this. Maybe we should make something out of this." So Mike was like, "Oh, I know someone," and basically called me up and was like, "All right, can you come out to if I fly you out to New York and pay for your accommodation, your flight and stuff, will you make me 2 vlogs for free?" And I said, "Hell yeah!" Like New York is like one of my dream places I've ever wanted to go. So he flew me out. I started making the vlogs for Mike, and then I met Anthony, and then Anthony basically stole me from Mike.
Wow, so that's the actual story.
So I was originally there for Mike, not Anthony. And obviously then hanging around Mike and filming what he does now and why he's like in New York. I met Anthony, and Anthony just wanted to know more about me and what I did. And I showed him some of my work, and then he literally stole me from Mike. And we filmed a few things and a few workouts. One of the workouts is actually in the documentary. And yeah, I mean, the documentary wasn't even discussed until when? December, maybe January.
So you are filming footage without even knowing that it's gonna end up in a documentary.
Yes. So I was originally, I've been out to New York now 4 or 5 times, but originally I was going out to just create content for Anthony, for his Instagram, for Facebook. And then when he decided he was going to compete, it was, can you come over and make 2 like YouTube episodes, like vlogs? And then Anthony got involved in a company called Radical Body Transformations, RBT, which is a whole big community of people that mainly have been fat and have lost weight. There isn't very many people that were skinny and gained weight, but it is both ways. And he bought into the company and became an executive producer. And they were like, right, well, then let's make 2 episodes for Radical Body Transformations. And they're on Amazon Prime, these episodes. Now, granted, they're not very good. The owner knows that I have told him that they're not very good. And other people have told me they're not very good. But the actual owner is fantastic. He's an absolute legend. His name's James Hergott. And so that was the goal. We were going to make the 2 episodes for the RBT. Once I started creating them and sending them over to them, the distributors got involved and were like, the quality of these episodes surpass the quality of the original episodes. Like, it's going to be weird to put them into the seasons. Have you thought of making a documentary? And it was like, right. Or I've not filmed it like a documentary and done nothing. I was like, so then we had the discussions, and I was like, I need to come back to New York. I need to do interviews. I need to film more stuff, B-roll and other things. They were like, when? And then they booked me a flight like 4 days later, and I went back out to New York again. Had everything planned this time, because the vlogs were more of a winging thing. Like, you don't need to plan anything with a vlog. With a documentary, you should be planning a documentary like a couple years in advance, really. And yeah, I planned everything, did it, came home. I had about 2 terabytes of footage just from Anthony because Anthony records everything on his phone, like absolutely everything. And then plus my footage. And I sat here with a blank canvas, named it documentary. And it was like, right, I need to make a story. So normally with a documentary at this high level, you would have a production team.
Of course, yeah.
You would have like, I don't know, 10, 15 people working on this documentary. I did it myself. So I created the story, I directed it, I edited it, color graded, graphics design. I did absolutely everything myself.
To pause you just a little bit, Kev, for the people that don't understand how an actual documentary is done, like obviously you have to first and foremost do the planning.
Yes.
Then you have to do like scripts. Then you have to like do the storyboards. This is how we're gonna film this. This is how we're gonna light this scene. Like everything has to be like properly arranged beforehand. So Keith was like basically in front of his computer and he had to do everything after he filmed, correct?
Yes. So yeah, not only am I sat at the computer doing all the editing, I had to do everything else, like physically, like the directing, the lighting, the cinematography, like everything I did, the storyboards, the scripts and stuff. Yeah, all me, all done. People have asked me, did I not want to employ people to help? I'm a bit stubborn. I wanted to see if I could do it myself. Plus, I learned a hell of a lot as well.
Can you imagine?
And Anthony basically believed in me and trusted in me that I could do it myself. So when I say myself, yes, 90% of it is all me. But then obviously there are people in the team that gave feedback and helped with like things like how things should be worded and things like that. But it's still a small team. There's probably about 6 of us all together. And they're all from Anthony's crew.
And at the time, you had a baby as well, right? This was the period.
Yes. So Cody was born December the 31st, so New Year's Eve, 2019. We were in the middle of the discussions for the documentary. I then flew out in January, filmed it, came back, and then I sat here for 3 months, about 10 hours every day, and edited the documentary because we wanted to get it out for around the time for COVID because everyone's at home and wanting things to watch. So they were like, please, can you just like get it done for us and that. And yeah.
So you didn't take any other project. You just worked on the documentary.
I didn't at the time, no. Plus, to be honest with you, because of COVID, nobody was coming to me anyway. So it was a blessing in disguise. Originally, if COVID didn't happen, I was supposed to be in LA, Texas, Bahamas, Connecticut, and New York again with Anthony because he was going to compete more times this year. Initially, I was pissed off because I wanted to travel and see these places. But now I'm not even bothered one bit. I got to, 1, release the documentary and get that out. And 2, I got to spend more time with my family rather than jet setting everywhere and stuff. And again, now my mindset is different. But yeah, we did it and we got it out. And the distributors, I became very friendly with the owner of the distribution company. So that's absolutely awesome. So again, another connection that I made. And I'm now on the books with his company if they need anybody to film or edit or anything like that. So it's just all about making connections. That's literally all it is within the industry. Like I said, you may not be the best, and I'm not claiming I'm the best. I'm far from it. I'm still learning every day. I still sit here sometimes if I'm not doing any client stuff. I don't just take a day off. I love working. If I physically have no client work, I'll learn something. I'll learn more stuff about video. I'll look into different settings and all this other stuff. And photography was more of a hobby within the videography world. But now I'm getting loads of clients for photography and upping that skill and trying to make that come level with my videography. If anything, I think my photography.
Like I have to acknowledge you for some of the portraits you've been putting out there. Like they're just mind blowing, especially the color grading and the shades and everything that you've been putting out. Yeah,
oh, thank you, mate. Yeah, I mean, I've so during COVID, I learned how to use flash and do flash photography. Something I swore I would never do. And now it's my favorite type of photography. I love using my flash. So I'm just trying to bring I want to be, my ultimate goal is to be the best all round like media company. So if a company comes to me, I can be like, yes, I can do the videography, I can do the photography, I can do the drone work, I can do whatever you need. Yeah. So then they don't have to spend more money on getting other people in, and things are then consistent as well, because that's a huge thing for a company. Yeah. You need to be consistent. So that's my goal. And then hopefully, like, I want to be able to do this in 20 years time. So
Definitely you will. I was just mind blown by the fact that you obviously work a lot and you seems like you were and are very busy. How do you manage your time? Were you always had these time management skills, or you just had to learn them?
I wing everything. There is no, I have, my organization skills are horrendous.
Really?
Like,
It
yeah,
doesn't seem like.
I have no, I mean, maybe behind the scenes in my head, things are organized, but if you actually came and watched me do a shoot or came and watched me work for a week, I'm all over the place. I
So is
have
this a thing
no,
with all the videographers? Because possibly it's the same.
yeah, like, I mean, like, I don't know, you see on Instagram all the time, like, oh, you need, like, I don't know, I feel like Instagram tries to mold you into something, you know, like, you need to be reading books, you need to be listening to
Yeah.
podcasts, you need to be organized, you need to do this. If your circle, you know, the 5 people in your circle, you're the average and all this other stuff, right? I don't have a circle. I'm just doing me. I don't have, the only thing I have is a diary, so I can at least not forget that I have a shoot coming up. Otherwise I wing it. Like, it's in my
Yeah,
head.
I feel like it's a trait with all of us creative people. It's just
Like, I know, like, because we're so creative, it's all of my creative stuff is in my head, so I know what I'm doing. It's just, yeah, if you watched me, it'd be like, why is he doing that? Wait, what's he doing now? Like, I'm just a little bit backwards, and then I get distracted very easily. I procrastinate a lot. But that's more now so with the baby. Like, I'll be sat here editing. Something will probably trump me with the editing where I'm like scratching my brain, and I'll just go and take 10 minutes and go down and play with the boy and stuff. And then that 10 minutes turns into like an hour and things. But
we've all been there.
But I still get everything done. And to be fair, there's no way I would be in the position I am now without my missus. Like, 100%. She allowed me to do my company. She supported me. She still allows me to do, like, work stupid hours while looking after the baby and stuff. So 100% wouldn't be where I am without her. I've been with her 13 years now as well.
That's quite a lot.
Been engaged 4 years. We're still not married, but
everything in time. Keith, I just wanted to ask you, would you say that anybody can be creative, or it's just something that you are born with?
Oh, I like this question. Both. So I'll elaborate. I feel like I was born with this, to have just a natural. I feel like you can learn so much within the industry. Like, of course, I went on YouTube and learned how to edit and how to, you know, color grade and all this other stuff. But I feel like you're naturally born with a way of seeing things differently. There's a certain extent you can learn, but I see people all the time. I especially see a lot of photographers since COVID now trying to learn videography. And no offense to them, the videos are horrendous because they don't have the natural eye for it. And yes, their videos can improve. And yes, if somebody came to me for help, I would help them. But yeah, just I think naturally you either have it or you don't.
I see. You're a really good storyteller as well. Were you like this since you were young, or you just developed while creating the videos?
I definitely developed it. I think it's maybe always been there. I don't have any brothers and sisters. So growing up, I was always playing video games. and watching movies and stuff. So, and where I lived as well, there was like, I didn't have any friends around me and stuff. So I was very alone, like not lonely. I wasn't lonely. I didn't feel lonely, but
You were alone.
like I was a solo person basically. So
Mhm.
games and movies were my thing. And I just feel maybe through growing up, that helped a lot, I guess, with my storytelling.
I like how Gary Vaynerchuk puts it, because we are all three accustomed with him and what he stood up for. He said that anybody can play basketball. Like anybody can be good at basketball. Can anybody like be as good at hobby? Of course not. And it's like the same with like anything, to be honest. Like anybody can play football, anybody can like create videos, but like can you actually be a great one? Probably not.
Yes, 100%. And the reason that is because a lot of people feel maybe it's an easy route to go down and they don't actually have the passion for it. I've seen so many people give it a go and fail, especially when things go bad, because then their actual passion is not in video. And that's the difference.
Would you consider being rich as something selfish?
Being rich is selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Do I consider being rich as selfish? Oh, I don't know how to answer that one. No, I don't know. I want to go down the no route for some reason with that.
So if
Do
you're
I
gonna
con-
have a lot of money, let's
Yeah.
say, I don't know which amount of money would you consider a lot, but just imagine that you have a lot of money. Would you consider as you would be selfish?
No, because I've never had money. I've never had money growing up. I don't do this job for money either. Maybe it was Gary V that maybe said this somewhere along the lines, or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, do in life, like basically, whatever, if money wasn't an issue in life, what would you do? Like if money wasn't a thing, I would still do this because I get proper kicks out of helping other people, like with their videos and their photos and stuff. And like I said, growing up, childhood was quite horrendous, and I never had money. And so yeah, money for me is not a. If somebody turned around to me and said, "Here's £1 million," what would I do with it? I'd probably buy some more video equipment and then invest the rest. Like I'm not into fancy cars. I'm not into fancy houses. That's not me. I'm not into that. So, yeah, that's, I guess that's, it's a no.
Yeah, very nice. If you would change something at yourself right now, what would that be? Because you said that you procrastinate a lot. Is that going to be the thing that you're going to change, or?
My organization skills, yeah. I mean, I guess so. I mean, I feel like I'm molding into the person I want to be at the moment anyway. When I look back onto my life, when I tell people, when people meet me and I tell them how my childhood was and how I got kicked out of school and I had real bad anger management stuff and all of this, it was people are like, really? I don't believe you. So I feel like I'm molding into the person I want to be, to be honest. I mean, I think some of that as well is about 3 years ago now, I broke down and had depression. And basically just built myself back up as a different person.
Mm-hmm. How
Seeing
did you
things
manage to bring yourself up from the depression? Was it difficult?
very difficult. Yeah. I had a counselor and stuff, and she would give me homework to do and basically rewired the way I thought about things. And then obviously time helps. And then Tara helped as well, the missus and stuff. So, and then just putting my time and effort into something else, which was the videography. and was like, I'm going to give this a proper go, because it was right after my nan died, and then that's around the same time I bought the camera and everything. So yeah, I mean, now if I could change anything, yeah, probably be more active, I think, is a big one as well. Like like I said, I was really into my fitness and stuff, and I was 9 stone. I'm now like 13 stone. Definitely can bench more than just the bar. But since doing the business, I'm literally work. So fitness has gone out the window. I try and spend more time with the family as much as I can, but like I said, I love to work. So there's a few things I can still work on for sure. It's just one step at a time. There's no point having like the mini goals are better than one huge goal.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, I just set out mini goals. To be honest, all of this has happened extremely quick. Like I haven't had time to basically sit down and process anything, to be honest. I started the business a year and a half ago, and I'm already at this stage. So like I said, hopefully in 20 years time, I can still sit here on another podcast and be like, yeah, business is going well.
Of course, I have no doubt.
Changing it to the other side, what's one thing that you want to be remembered for?
Oh, just making good videos. Like I don't push weddings. Okay, so wedding videography and photography, I don't push them on my Instagram or anywhere, but I do them. I have 12 weddings next year. I have 4 this year, and wedding couples are the most grateful out of everyone. And to see their faces when you give them a video, and every single person I've given a wedding video to, they've cried, because I get to tell the story, and my music and the way I tell it and stuff, they always cry. And then at the end, they're always in hysterics of laughter and stuff. And I don't know, I'd like to be remembered that video will go down that family, or for the rest of, for years and years and years and years. And then they remember me, not just for filming it, but for helping them with the day and having a good day and stuff like that. But yeah, just making videos. Be remembered for making cool videos, especially like Anthony's family with the documentary. Like when his kids grow up, because he's got 2 kids, when they grow up and they understand the magnitude of the documentary and what it's about, and then they're like, oh, Keith made this. Do you know what I mean? That, I guess that's what I want to be remembered for, and for being a good dad.
Last but not least. Yeah, I feel like videos are probably the best tool to transmit emotion, to evoke emotion into someone. Because if you think about it, like ever since the movies came out, like every single time you watch a movie, if it's an action movie, it's like if it's about superheroes, it transmits you something. Like for a while, it might be like an hour, a day, a week. You have that feeling within you because of the movie. It made you feel a certain way, and it might even change your life.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. I watch movies differently now, though.
Yeah.
I'm always watching a movie and thinking, oh, that's a cool camera angle. That's nice lighting. Oh, wonder how they did the color grade.
When we are watching movies together, he's like, okay, this angle is very, very interesting. And I'm like, just watch the movie, dude.
Yeah. And it's a completely different way of watching things now. I've even had to now go back and watch old movies that I enjoyed growing up, just to look at the camera angles and the color gradings and stuff.
Yeah, I see everything from a different perspective.
And I'm very picky. I'm extremely picky now. Like I'll notice mistakes, bad cuts, and it annoys Tara, because now, because I'm like, she's learning things on the side because of what I do, and I try and involve her. So now sometimes she gets a bit annoyed watching a film, because now she notices like when there's bad cuts and things and mistakes and stuff. Yeah.
And you can't just focus on the movie, you focus on backstage space stuff as well. Yeah.
So she's
what would you say is a very good movie that you could recommend to our audience? Because usually we'll recommend things such as books, but like I feel like now is like the best time to recommend a movie.
My movie recommendations are hilarious. Like I adore Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I love it as well.
Like that's my jam right there. Like I love Lord of the Rings. I love the Harry Potters.
I'm with you.
I've been to Florida to the Harry Potter place and the studios here in England as well. Yeah, random things. My favorite movie growing up was Wayne's World. If you've
I
ever
haven't
seen
heard of
that
it.
or
No,
heard that,
I haven't.
it's got Mike Myers in it. So obviously that was like not the start of his career, but like he's a huge time actor. He then went on and, you know, did like Austin Powers and the voice of Shrek and all these other things. So I don't know. I'm even some cheesy movies I like. Do you know what I mean? Like the Fast and the Furious franchise. I'm impartial to. I know all the words to the first Fast and the Furious movie.
Really, you've watched that
Yeah,
movie?
and it's funny because I'm not even into cars. I just really
Yeah.
like.
The story is really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I just like the movie and random things. But yeah, I don't know. I like Star Wars is cool. I'm not huge into Star Wars, but I mean that's cool.
I've seen that. I've seen a pattern. You like the mini series, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, you said
Yeah.
like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Now,
Yeah. And I think that stems from I like a story.
mm-hmm,
I like a big story.
mm-hmm.
So all of these franchises have a huge story. It's not just one film and that's it. Yeah, random. I have a weird talent, which Tara will tell you. I can walk into a room and literally within 1 second tell you what movie it's on, no matter what scene it is. It's a very strange and weird talent, and she laughs at me all the time. And she does it even to try and throw me off sometimes. She'll pause it on a really random scene. What did she did it 2 nights ago with the Hunger Games. It was a point where somebody had their back, the camera was showing their back, and then there was an audience, and it could have been any film. Like, and I just went, "Oh, you're watching the second Hunger Games? How did you know it was even the second one?" And it's just an extremely weird talent I have because I watch so many movies, and then it just sticks into my head, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Very
really
weird
funny.
talent that. Like if somebody said, "Oh, what talent would you do if you went on Britain's Got Talent?" I'd just get them to pick a movie and a scene, and I'll just tell them what it is. That's my talent right there.
Well, that would be hilarious. You're just gonna get the golden buzzer.
I don't have any other talents.
Right. Keith, I think that we can go with this podcast on and on forever, but I'm just gonna address you the last question.
Okay.
So just take your time to answer to this. So imagine that you are on your deathbed, and right next to you is the best version of yourself looking at you. You see and comprehend what you could have become. How would you feel about yourself and your life in that moment?
Jesus Christ, these are deep, aren't they? Now you're making me. I can talk about myself, but random things like this it makes me think. So I'm on my deathbed. I have the best version of myself next to me. What am I asking? What am I?
How would you feel about yourself and everything you've been through so far? Seeing your best version in front of you, right before you have to leave the world.
Fucking shake my hand. It's exactly what I'd do. I'd give myself a pat on the back. Yeah, wow, that is deep, isn't it? I don't know. I'm proud of myself now. Do you know what I mean? Like I know we haven't talked about it in this podcast, but I could go extremely deep into like how bad my childhood was and stuff, and some of the things I've seen and gone through, and basically I was either going to go one way or the other, you know, like drug, prison route or the other. Like it was getting that bad, and luckily I went the other way. But I feel like I'm getting there. Obviously you can always still learn and always still grow and stuff, can't you? But like I feel I'm a hell of a lot more chilled out. I'm a lot more mellow. But I honestly still think my biggest thanks would be to Tara, for sure. She's completely changed me. A good woman on your side will make or break you, 100%, or a good man, whatever you're into. But yeah, I feel like 100% her. She's the one. She helped me. But
If with that said, I know we could go on and on. I just want to give you the opportunity to tell again to our audience what it is that you do and how can they get in touch with you, where they can find your company, your services, and everything you want to share.
Okay, so thanks for listening, by the way. But my name is Keith Eccles. I own a photography company, Keithicus Entertainment. You can find me on Instagram under Keithicus, which is spelled KEEFIKUS. Quick reason into that real quickly is because my name is Keith, but a lot of people growing up would say Keith with a double EF. And then I'm into Greek mythology. I have a Greek mythology sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And so I added Iccus on the end. Plus KE is my actual real name initials, Keith Eccles and Keithicus Entertainment. Plus my hashtag says make it happen, because I'll make it happen no matter what client comes to me. My job is to make it happen for them. Plus when you put it all together in a hashtag, it says Keith in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Keithicus Entertainment. Vimeo. I prefer Vimeo over YouTube, mainly because I'm a bit of a quality snob, so I can upload things in nice 4-5K on there over YouTube. But I am on YouTube, same, Keithicus. And anybody can contact me about anything. It doesn't have to be videography related. Feel free to contact me if you would like any help with anything. Even if somebody is feeling down, they can still contact me.
That's good to know. Thank you very much, Keith. It was a pleasure for me, like knowing you and actually learning even more about you. It was really, really interesting.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you,
grateful as well for the experience. And thank you so much, guys, for listening. I hope you enjoyed the story. Again, if you need any help with anything else in your life, you can always contact us or Keith, like he said. And until next time, stay grateful. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.